Okay, in this video, let's bring in our AutoCAD files into the correct flow plan and align them so that we can go ahead and start constructing our building. So before I go any further, what I want to do is I want to go into File and save my drawing, save as, and then we save as a project, not as a template, because this is not a template, this is a project. So I'm going to go in and save it as a project. I'm gonna save it here on my desktop, let's say Dobson, and that's it. And we have options, so if you remember, we talked about this in project 1. We can have backups. In this case, I'm just gonna leave it at the default 3. I'm not gonna increase it. Thumbnail is gonna be the same thing, and I'm not gonna worry about any of the other things. This is the important thing, at least in these options, that I think at least is the most important thing. So maximum number of backups is going to be 3. Just going to say OK and just save my file. There we go. Alright, that's done. So we'll go into our level 1 and let's bring in our drawings. So the first thing that we need to do in order to bring in anything into Revit is, since we're inserting things, go to Insert on our menu, and there are a couple of ways to insert AutoCAD files. We've talked about this previously. You can link a CAD drawing or you can import a CAD drawing. Linking a CAD drawing helps you when you're working in teams. So when the CAD drawing gets updated, the CAD drawing that you linked automatically gets updated as well. If you import it, it's completely a separate file, so you're importing all the information in the CAD file into the Revit file. There are some issues when you bring in a CAD file by import. If there are errors in your CAD file, it's going to transfer into your Revit file as well. But in this case, we know our CAD file is good, so I can go in, import the CAD, because I don't want to link it. I don't want to carry my file around, have a few files to carry with me when I take my Revit file on a thumb drive. So I'm just going to import my CAD file. So going to import CAD, find your first floor plan, which is this one, and there are a couple of options that we've talked about this previously as well. So let's take a look at the options here. Now the colors, I'm gonna invert it because AutoCAD has a black background, Revit has a white background. It makes sense to invert our colors. When you invert the colors, the colors that appear as, say, yellow will invert itself in the white background, so you can see them a little bit more clearly. Then the levels, we want all the levels. In level 1 there's going to be just one level, so and import units, I'm going to let it auto detect. Positioning, it's going to be origin to origin and place it at level 1. So everything seems to be good by default. I'm going to say OK and I'll say open. It's going to bring in the drawing. If you don't see it, you can scroll a little bit out, and then you might see your drawing. Now you won't be able to move it when you bring it in, because automatically it's going to be pinned onto your drawing. If you can't even select the drawing, the reason is here. So you need to go here and make sure select links is checked, select pinned elements is checked. Make sure these two things are checked if you can't even select your drawing. So in order to move it here, rather than moving it here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my elevation markers to this area, so that we can then just move them a little bit outside, like so. Now this is fine, this works. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. That's there, and that's there. That's fine, I think. Place it was okay. There we go. So we have our first floor plan placed nicely. Let's go to the level 2 floor plan. Now when you go into level 2, if you don't see your first floor plan, it might make it a little bit harder for you to bring in your level 2 floor plan in and align it exactly, because we want the floor plans aligned on one top of the other, right? So if you don't see this, what you need to do is click on the canvas, click anywhere like this, go to the properties panel and scroll down a little bit where it says underlay. Now underlay, the base level should be level 1. So if you have this as level 1, then you should be seeing your level 1 flow plan even though you're in level 2. Now it's going to be transparent, or it might be faded a little bit, so that you know that's the underlay. Okay, now we have our underlay of our flow plan 1. The next thing that I want to do is I'm going to bring in our excuse me, I'm going to bring in our second floor plan. Everything seems to be correct. Invert, we set everything previously, so that should be okay. Level 2, place at level 2, say open, and bring it in. Now what we want to do is we want to align these plans one on top of the other. So what we can do is we can use a core or a column to align these. So let's do that. If you can move it, what you do is you unpin the drawing, and then you can move the drawing wherever you want. Now what I want to do is I want to align my staircase core with the first floor plan staircase core. So I can bring it like so, and then I can use my move tool to move it up to this point. There you go. That works. Let's see if it works. So everything seems to be one on top of the other, pretty much. Yeah. Yep. So that seems to work perfectly. So that's good. So that's second floor plan. Let's go to the third floor plan. Now here I don't see the second floor plan, so what I need to do is to go here and scroll down a little bit, go to the underlay. Now it says none. So what I want to do is I want to have level 2 appear. So there we go. We have level 2 here. Go import CAD, bring in our level 3 up to level 3, invert, that's good. Let's open it up. Now we need to align it with this particular drawing. Let's do that. So I'm going to move it again. Let's use this corner here, see if that works. Oh, it's pinned, so let's unpin it first. There you go. And let's move the drawing up to this point here. Boom. Beautiful. Well, not really. There you go. Perfect. Alright, there we go. We have our 3 floor plans aligned properly, one on top of the other, and we have set up our drawing properly. If you go to your 3D view, like so, you'd see the 3 flow plans, and you can press shift and move your drawings or orbit your drawing by pressing the middle mouse button, and you have your drawing set up. This is how it's gonna look like once you're done. So in the next video, let's start constructing our drawing. So before we go, let's save our drawing. There you go. And I'll start constructing the building from the next video.